Ever looked at a weekly discussion post for an online class and just kind of rolled your eyes thinking it's just busy work? Well, turns out there's a whole lot more going on. There's this hidden architecture behind it, a really deliberate design meant to guide how you learn. So today, we're going to dissect one of these assignments to see what's really happening under the hood.
Okay, so take a look at this. It seems like a pretty standard weekly assignment, right? But don't let that simple interface fool you. Every single thing you see on this page, from the topic they picked to the due date, is a super specific choice made by the instructor.
We're about to break this thing down, piece by piece, to really uncover its educational design. And trust me, by the end of this, you will never look at a simple forum post the same way again. First things first, let's get a feel for the environment. This is not just some comment section on a website. It's a digital classroom. You got to think of it as a carefully built arena where every single interaction is designed to build on the one before it. And now the topic itself, male and female reproductive systems. Whoa, that's a complex and, sensitive area of study. Choosing this topic right away tells you this isn't a casual chat. It absolutely demands a serious, professional discussion. Okay, this is where the design gets really, really clever. Instead of just having everybody pile onto the same big topic, the instructor strategically splits the class down two very distinct but related paths. The split is pretty simple, actually. It's all based on your last name. If your name starts with A through L, you focus on breast exams. M through Z, you're tackling male genitalia. But here's the twist. You have to reply to posts from the other group. This forces every single student to do a deep dive on one topic while also engaging thoughtfully with the second one. It's a really simple trick to make sure everyone covers all the material. All right, so we know the topics, but what are the students actually supposed to do? Let's dig into the specific prompts, because this is where the real learning architecture starts to take shape. For the A to L group, it's a three-step mission. First, they build their foundational knowledge from the textbook, the basic how-to. Then they shift into analysis, identifying potential problems. And finally, they have to synthesize all that with external research from a credible source, which connects what they're learning in the classroom to the real world. And what about the M to Z group? They followed the exact same parallel path. They start with the textbook for the fundamentals, then move on to identifying abnormalities, and then they use an expert external source, the Prostate Cancer Foundation, for deeper research. The key thing here is that the structure is identical. That means both groups are practicing the exact same research skills, just with different content. This one little instruction right here, it's the anchor for the entire assignment. It makes it crystal clear that this isn't about just Googling answers. It forces students to really engage with the course materials, making sure they're learning what the instructor actually intended. So, we've seen what the students are researching. The next layer of this whole design is how they're supposed to interact, and these rules of engagement are just as important to the learning process as the research itself. The timeline is so critical. That first, research-heavy post is due midweek. This is a deliberate move to prevent last-minute cramming. Then you have until Sunday for your replies. This staggered deadline creates a multi-day window for a genuine conversation, giving students time to read, think, and respond to what their peers wrote instead of just posting and ghosting. The interaction rules look simple. Post once, comment twice. But the details matter. Replies have to add something new to the conversation, which completely kills those useless "I agree" or "great post" comments. This demands a real contribution. Enforcing citations for everything? Well, that elevates this from a simple chat to a mini research exercise. So, what's going to make anyone follow all these rules? Well, that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the grading. The stakes and the incentives are what really drive student behavior and show what the instructor truly values. This grade breakdown tells you everything you need to know about the priorities here. A whopping 75% is for your own deep research. That's the foundation. But a full quarter of the grade is for replying to your classmates. That's not just a suggestion, it's a loud and clear signal that engaging with other people's work is a core requirement. And then there's the penalty for being late. This number is a pretty powerful motivator to stay on schedule. Yep, there are real consequences for missing deadlines. A 5-point deduction per day can turn an A into a C pretty fast. This isn't just about being strict for the sake of it. It's about enforcing the time management and consistent engagement that an online course absolutely needs to work. And finally, none of this is a mystery. The assignment points you directly to a detailed grading rubric. Think of this as the contract between the instructor and the student. It totally removes the guesswork and gives you a clear, transparent roadmap for how to do well.
So when you put all these pieces together, the strategic topic split, the multi-step research prompts, those staggered deadlines, and the value-driven grading, you see it's so much more than a simple forum post. It's a highly structured, multifaceted learning machine. Which leaves us with one final question. Is this kind of intricate design the new blueprint for what effective digital education looks like?